Knowing the path. Walking the path. Staying on the path. Path to Sai.
Take a little bit of time to read the Vahini, take a little bit of time to read Swami Satyasai Speaks, one chapter, one verse. Don't need to read the whole book, but at least one paragraph or two paragraphs, and then start ruminating over those things. You'll find that those words will get into our system, and then we'll start regulating our life, and our life gets influenced by these teachings all the time, everywhere. You know, it's like keep on chewing, and what do you call it? Take Swami's words within ourselves. The other one is the most difficult thing to do is remain focused. You know, in this world, we got work, we got do this, how do you remain focused? The focus point is the most difficult point. And that's the reason is when you become too distracted, you know, your red flags are going off. When your mind is altered and taken away to do other things than this thing, then there's something else that's happening. So we have to be careful that, see, the way to do this is that when Swami's work and Swami's consciousness and focusing on this, make it like a life breath. You know, this is what we have come for. We want to do this. Just focus on that and keep on having that. You find the distractions will come, but we will not pay too much attention to those distractions. Otherwise, you'll find that distractions will go. But Swami said, prompted by the urge to advance the progress of others, a person who dedicates their wealth, skill, and intelligence, their position and status becomes truly great. Such a one is the purposeful seer for the world. Such a one fulfills unfailingly the vow of selfless service. One who is conscious of the basic duties and obligations and spend days in carrying them out in practice will be in supreme peace wherever one be. Though one's influence, the neighborhood will also share that peace. You see, Bhagwan is a recipe. Prompted by the urge to advance the progress of others. That means not only you are interested to progress yourself, you're also interested to make sure everybody else's progress. A person who dedicate what? Dedicate their wealth. That means to say, the Sai devotees think that we should not go for wealth. No, we should go for wealth because a businessman must become wealthy, but dedicate that wealth, whatever that you have got, dedicate the skill, dedicate the intelligence, and help other people in the process. You become, in Swami's words, becomes truly great. That is his KPI, his key performance indicator is that one who is working in your office, one who becomes skillful, you have all the certificates, all the degrees, no problem, but get all these things that you want in this material world and dedicate to God, dedicate to the people, dedicate to organization, dedicate passionately, give your entire life for this particular purpose. Swami said, such a one is the purposeful seer for the world. Such a one will fulfill unfailingly the vow of selfless service, Baba said. And one who is doing this will get always peace and happiness. That's what we want, peace and happiness. This is the vow, this is the mantra, this particular slide. I hope you can take a photograph of this using a handphone camera. Take this photograph, imbibe these words, make sure that it impresses in you, and then dedicate. And then now is the time to check, am I dedicating my time and energy? Am I dedicating my skills? Am I dedicating, how many more people are being helped? What are the things that I'm doing? In the USA, for the Sai 100 program, there are 23 schools that they have taken, for a tuition program. Okay, how can I be involved in such a program? How can I take another school and help and add on to the list? So Swami said, happy birthday, Swami, happy birthday, Swami. Swami said, don't make me happy, make me proud. So dedicate, remain focused and continue to dedicate. Why? Because these are statistics just to show you. In 1976, the average supermarket stocks is 9,000. It ballooned to 40,000. 40,000 products. That means when you go into market, when you go to supermarket, the number of things that have ballooned is so much that we get completely distracted. And when you get distracted, you know what's going to happen? We are not able to focus. That means, Baba, the statement means that we need to ignore. When you try, you're going to select something, but when you ignoring itself requires discrimination, intelligence, and the ability to filter away. That itself is depleting. That's why people who go shopping comes back exhausted, because you are preventing other things from buying. That itself is a sieving process, and that itself exhausts you. So this is what the point is. Even to ignore requires energy, So this is what it is now. Then all this ignoring will come with a cost. Neuroscientists have discovered that unproductivity and loss of drive can result from decision overload. That's why our decisions are becoming compromised, because we're making too many choices and we're trying to ignore, filter away. The Buddhi Shakti must be very strong, which is why we pray yesterday. So we talked about it. The Ganapati concept is implanted here to develop our Buddhi in order to discriminate and filter away the unwanted, so that we can only remain focused on his path and focus on his journey back to our core. See, the world's television station produces 85,000 hours of original programming every day, as we watch an average of 5 hours of television each day. This is just an average. And all these causes, what happens is, during our leisure time, not counting work, each of us process 34 gigabytes or 100,000 words every day. The processing capacity of the conscious mind has been estimated at 120 bits per second. That bandwidth of window is the speed of limit for the traffic information. All this is happening in great time. That is why we get stressed up. That's why we get fatigued. And that is why our mind cannot absorb these things and suffer from panic attack, overwhelming, we are not able to focus, is because we do not know how to clear. So Swami's method of spiritualizing ourselves is to offer reformatting our brain, reformatting our stuff, clearing all our stuff and making sure that we are available to the challenges of the world. So the clear thing, dear friends, to remain focused, attention. So the attention is what? The two statements. Arvind also said yesterday the same thing. I also said to the same thing. Two things we must never forget: death and God. So the attention must be, hey, one day I'm going to go. So why should my mind travel here and travel there? Let me focus on this, but I will not forget my duty. I will not forget my work, but this end result is clear. By the time I finish my life, I must leave something behind. I must improve my own self. I must make sure that other people also are improving. When we have that, what happens? You know, the lighter yesterday, where even people who cannot light up, I help other people to light it up. Then I'm helping Swami in his mission, because Swami said in his letter, Baba said, I have come, my task is to spread Ananda to everybody. Oh Bhagavan, if your task is to spread Ananda to everybody, then if I also help you to spread Ananda to everybody, I'm also part of the task force. Hey, I'm part of your task force. Bhagavan, I'm part of your task force. Why don't I make a resolution today in this retreat that from today onwards, I want to be only happy. I will make my life Ananda. I will help other people to also to spread this Ananda and put my attention on his path and make it go. So like this, we cover COR. R means remain focused. And the E, the last one is, dear friends, exert effort. How do you know the red flag is coming up? When you stop exerting effort. When you stop exerting effort, that's it. Exerting effort means, not, remember yesterday I said, when you reach 90% and going to 100, you stop at 90, and the other guy is 10 to 40, grace falls on the 10 to 40. So all the time, exerting effort to improve ourselves. Hey, why didn't I know this? Why? So continuous exertion of effort is what that brings us, because Swami said effort is proportional to grace. So whichever sadhana we do, whichever tapas we do, we continue to exert as much effort as we can to make life easy for not only for ourselves, but to other people as well. So in this way, what happens is, we have the core: comfort shift, obey implicitly, remain focused, exert effort. This one, please take a, if you can take a snapshot of this and keep it in your phone. So you can, this is a very nice one. So this is a spaceship. So imagine your center that you're going to is a space shuttle. It's going to take you to the inner core. What should I do? From this moment onwards, I will always move away from comfort. Try and do things that makes me learn, that makes me acquire, reinventing relevance. You know, I used to think why this media should only go for young people, you know. Media should also, even the elderly people, even people who are retired, you should come inside and see how we can all contribute even to the media, because it's just some, we think that technology must be for the young. Even the technology can be for the senior elderly people. So we should shift like that. We keep on reinventing relevance until we die. We keep on working and working for Bhagavan, obey implicitly the instruction, keep on remaining as focused as we can. Then you know that you can exert effort. When we do this way, we will never move away from the path. Knowing the path, these are the red flags that comes out that keeps us continuously focused. This last slide that I have is here. It's a beautiful slide that tells us, Baba said, we are his work. Can you imagine? So the statements of some, we are his work. We are why he came. Each one of us has called out to him. And so he has come to protect, foster, and encourage us to grow. We are his work. We are, that means we all are his part of and parcel of his work. His work is in the self-transformation, and we are all part and parcel of this transformational work. That's why spirituality is one of the most amazing, incredible fraternity, fellowship, because you know why? We came out from the Pravritti Marga, and all of us are going back to the Nivritti Marga. That means we're all going back home. We came from different houses, but definitely we all are going back to the same home. And each of us have got a role to play to help us, help each other to play. So you must be continuously inspired. Every morning when we get up, feel inspired. Oh, one more day Bhagwan has given me to do work for him. One more day Bhagwan has given me to remind me of the glory of what I have born for. The other 8.4 lakhs of may not get, but I have this opportunity. I should not waste that time. I must make my life very sacred, very, very sincere, passionately involve ourselves, enjoy life to the fullest. The Oma Khayyam said that their tear glands are given only for shedding tears of bliss. This is what we should do. But in order to do that, we saw the Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible, new movie that has come out. Tom Cruise said when he was that movie, he climbs on an airplane, and the kind of stunts he did in that flight was amazing. It was really very, very high height. I wonder why he risked his life doing those stunts. And they asked him this question, and I like this term very much. They asked him, "Were you not afraid?" He replied back, I was afraid, but I was not afraid to be afraid." I thought that was really nice. I was not afraid to be afraid. So I thought that was a real nice way to remove our comfort and remove all these fears. There will be things happening in our life, but we need not fear this, and have this strange, amazing, incredible fearlessness that drives us to search to our inner core, go and search our inner core. And in our inner core, we realize, hey, where are you? Where are you? Then Bhagavan, I am here. I'm always been here. I'm always in you. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. The echo will resonate with ourselves. We feel that man is God and I am he, I am he, I am he. That vibration, which before we die, we must explain, we must express, and we must experience that particular experience, which is what we have come for. If we come for that experience and we achieve it, no more life again. We are liberated and we are amazingly drifting and go back to his lap. This is the path to Sai, in my own 2 cents worth. Thank you so much, Sai.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of dearest Swami. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters. Sai Ram. Let me take you back to the 1940s in the Pata Mandiram, Swami's old mandir, where the devotees would be staying with Swami in their midst. One among those devotees was Radhamma. Radhamma, who is the mother of the lady whom we know as Kuppam Vijayamma. She has written the book Anyatha Sharanam Nasti. So she is there, and all these devotees will cook their food, and Swami will come and share meals with any of them, with many of them. Every day, this is a beautiful thing that happens. Swami stays with them, lives with them, eats with them. One night, in the middle of the night, when all are asleep, Radhamma is woken up. Radhamma, Radhamma. Who is waking her up? Our Swami. He wakes her up and he tells, I'm feeling hungry. Can you make some dosa for me? She says, oh, surely, Swami. Yes. She has the dough ready and she will set up her stove very quickly and she says, I will make it for you, Swami. Then Swami says, but when you make that dosa, right, that sound comes. With that, people will wake up. I don't want anyone to see me having this. So make the dosa without that sound. And she now folds her hand and says, Swami, I will make the dosa. You make sure that that sound doesn't come. That I can't ensure. Then Swami says, okay, fine. I will make sure that the sound doesn't come. That's where Swami is using his divine power. And you make the dosa. And so she makes silent, noiseless, tasty dosas for Swami. And Swami eats a few of them and Swami says, I'm satisfied, I'm very happy. And then that's it. Can you imagine this proximity? And the next day, Swami is refusing to eat breakfast. And there are many devotees who consider it a great privilege to offer food to the avatar of the age, to Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And Swami is saying, no, 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 I don't want breakfast. And when they pester him a little more to have some food at least, Swami says, see, actually, I wanted to eat, but what to do? You know, this Radhamma, in the middle of the night, she woke me up. She made dosas and fed me. Now tell me, how can I eat? And there Radhamma is trapped. These are the beautiful, mischievous pranks of our Sai Krishna, our dear Swami. And whenever I listen to these stories, and I'm sure it is the same case with you as well, whenever you listen to these stories, you wish that you were there during those times. We have come late, haven't we? How we wish we were there present in those days. When we think of our journey with Sai, when I think of journey with Swami, the one quote of Swami that comes to my mind is start early, drive slowly, reach safely. And I feel that I have messed up right in the beginning only. Start early. Swami, we came late. I came late. I missed all of this. Well, speaking about talking late, Dr. V.K. Gokak, the first Vice Chancellor of the Sri Satsai Institute of Higher Learning, he had another interpretation of being late. He said, Swami, I want to come to you again in my next birth, but as a student. I came very late, Swami. I came at a very advanced age. Yes, that is another thing we feel that we have started late, right? We have come at a time when we are too old. Too old. We should have come as youngsters. We should have had the opportunity to offer our youth to Swami. So either we have come when Swami has already gone physically, it's too late, or we have come when we are too advanced in our age, we are too late. So how do I start early, drive slowly, and reach safely when I have started late itself in many perspectives? Here it is important to understand what is start early, what is drive slowly, what is reach safely. And it will be my humble attempt to offer my perspective and understanding of this beautiful quote of Swami, which is motivating and inspiring for all of us. Start early. Let us start with that quote. You know, in one of his discourses, Swami narrates a Chinnakatha, a story. This person has visited Kashmir, Swami says, and from Kashmir he brought a cloth. He gave it to his mother, and his mother took the cloth and kept it in a cupboard. Years later, she finds this cloth and she tells, hey, look at this. For last 10 years, you have forgotten about this cloth. Why don't you get some clothes stitched with this? It's a new cloth. And so he gets a new shirt and pant made for the next function or festival that's coming up at home. And Swami says that when he goes for that function, his shirt tears. And then the mother asks, how can this shirt tear? It's a new shirt. And Swami says, the son said, Mother, the shirt is new, but the cloth is old. Following this Chinnakatha, Swami says, so also when we think of age, young and old, this body is possibly new, but the soul is very old. Our relationship with Swami spans not just this birth, dear brothers and sisters, our relationship spans several births. And Swami has been carefully tending to us the way Lord Krishna tended to his cows, the way Lord Jesus tended to his sheep, and he has been guiding us across lifetimes. So, what is this early we are speaking about? Who is early? Who is late? In this perspective, I feel that the true meaning of start early is start now. Now, what is now? The moment we realize the truth, the moment we realize that life is not about khana, pina, sona, marna. Life is not about eating, sleeping, drinking, and dying, as Swami would say. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunadi, as the scriptures say. When we realize that life is not about this, I am not animal, I am man. I am not man, I am God. The moment we realize this truth, and when I say realize, I'm not meaning enlightenment, I'm meaning an intellectual understanding. When we understand that life has something much beyond all these ephemeral things that we go behind, which will be gone anyway. That is when we have to begin. That is what is meant by start early. Start now. The moment you get the realization, start. It's never too late. It's not about whether I'm 6 years old or 60 years old. It's not about when I came to Swami in the Patya Mandiram days or when I came post Mahasamadhi. No. The moment I understand the truth, I start focusing on it. And the examples for us are Maharaja Parikshit. The moment he got to know death is here, death and God, the only two things worth remembering. 7 days I'm going to die. What did he do? Just gave up the whole kingdom, gave up everything, just walked out of the palace. Went to Shuka Maharshi and said, "O sage, tell me the Bhagavata." Only listen to the Bhagavata. No food, no drink, no sleep, nothing. Continuously listen to the glories of the Lord, and he got enlightened. He got moksha. That is what Maharaja Parikshit did. What did Prince Siddhartha do? The moment the truth hit him, oh, everyone is going to get sick. Everyone is going to get old. Everyone is going to die. There is no escape from this. Then what am I doing? Just give up everything in an instant. Give up everything. That is the journey of Siddhartha to Buddha. Start early means start now, and the now is represented by the moment when we recognize the truth, Satya. Start early for me is symbolic of Satya. The moment we realize the truth, that is the moment to start. It's not about how. So there is no need to feel bad or repent that we came late to Swami, we missed Swami. No, 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 no. Do you know the truth intellectually? Yes, then start. Start. Go on. But after starting, drive slowly. Whenever Swami would say drive slowly, I would remember him speaking about his own driving days. Yes, Swami was given a driving license by Sri Hanumantrao Garu, who was the uh, driving and traffic commissioner in the Madras presidency. And Swami got it at a very young age. And Swami would drive the Morris Minor car in such speed, such speed. And here you are coming, Swami, and saying, drive slowly. No, no, no. Again, it's a misunderstanding. Drive slowly does not mean go very slow. In all our countries, we have seen the freeways. There is a speed limit. Yes, if you are caught over speeding, you are fined. But then, if you are going below that speed as well, you are fined. Isn't it? When there's a speed limit given, you are supposed to go in that speed. Going faster also gets fines. Going slower also gets us fined. So it doesn't mean that slower the better. No, no. Drive slowly means drive carefully. Drive carefully. Careful of what? Careful of the rules. Start early is start now. Satya, the moment of truth. Drive slowly is drive carefully, following the rules. What are the rules of life? Dharma. Dharma. Follow dharma. It is beyond the scope of this talk to go into the intricacies of dharma. There is individual dharma, fundamental dharma, national dharma, family dharma, paradharma, atma dharma. Ultimately, Swami says there is only one, that is atma dharma. What is the atma dharma? The atma dharma says that everyone and everything is divine. And if we understand the implications of this, we will know what needs to be done. But just that is not enough for us to understand. Oh, we get confused. What do I do if there is a conflict between my duty as an employee and my duty as a father? Ah. Actually, if we have truly understood and imbibed Atma Dharma, we will know what needs to be done. Just like Lord Rama knew what had to be done. When he had to follow his duty as a son, when he had to follow the duty as a ruler, everything he knew. But because we don't understand, we have paradharma. Paradharma meaning duty, and duties as a mother, duty as a sister, duty as an employee, duty as a citizen of the country, duty as a devotee. All of these come up, but ultimately there's only Atma Dharma. And this dharma is very, very powerful. Let us remember that when there is a dharma sankata, or when there is a conflict of dharma, we have to be on the side of dharma. There can be no bystanders in a war of dharma. When adharma and dharma are in war, you cannot say that, you know what, I don't know, so I will not participate, I will just watch. There are no bystanders in a dharmic war. A bystander means you are on the side of adharma. So we have to take a stance. That is where Swami would say, don't listen to the body, don't listen to the mind, listen to the conscience. Because the solutions of the conscience make the body and mind uncomfortable. The body is used to comforts, the body is used to so many liberties and privileges, possibly, this mind also. And they hold on to them. We don't want to give this up. But the conscience is telling, give it up. we don't have the courage to follow the conscience. Many times when we are confused, it is not because we don't know what is right. It is because we don't have the courage to do what is right. And courage doesn't mean lack of fear, as it has already been emphasized. Courage is not lacking fear. Courage is having fear, knowing the fear, and yet having greater faith in Swami, knowing that the F of faith will overcome the F of fear, and proceeding, knowing that Swami is there. And as Swami would say, Swami, in following you, even if my body has to die, so be it. Forget death. At a far lesser challenge itself, we give up following Swami. So that is what is meant by drive slowly. Drive slowly means drive carefully. Being in tune with Dharma. I am reminded of a beautiful episode narrated to us by Professor G. Venkatraman, Professor GV as I call him, the first director, the only director of Radio Sai Global Harmony appointed by Swami. Now, he was narrating how Swami had a conversation with a person from the army. And the person from the army was asking Swami, Swami, what should I do if my superiors tell me to do something that is against my conscience? Swami said, no, you should follow your conscience. And you should convince them what they're telling is wrong and you should bring them to the right path. But Swami, what if they don't listen? Try harder. But Swami, even after the best attempt, if they're not listening, then don't follow your conscience. But Swami, that is an offense in the army. Okay. Swami, I'll be court-martialed. That's fine, Swami said. Swami, me and my wife, my children, my family will be on the streets. That's fine, Swami said. Wow. Now, Professor GV was saying that as he heard this, he was wondering, Swami is saying that's fine. We find it glorious to die for the country. We call it patriotism. Dharma is higher than the country. Why not die for Dharma? But then Swami says, Professor GV sir told that Swami said, but you seem to be having a very low opinion of Dharma. And Swami gave that reassurance. Swami said, remember, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma eva hato hanti. Dharma protects those who protect Dharma. Dharma destroys those who destroy Dharma. You have a very low opinion of Dharma. You are thinking that you will abide by Dharma and Dharma will watch you getting humiliated and being thrown. It may take time, but Satyameva Jayate. In the end, truth alone triumphs. We need to have that faith and confidence in Dharma. And then only we will reach safely. What does it mean to reach safely? All our ultimate destination is, yes, the bowels of the earth. We will be buried or burnt. Either way, we will return to the elements. That is not the final destination that Swami is speaking about. When they say reach safely, it means reach that peace which passeth understanding, that contentment, that joy where nothing affects. Start early is start now, Satya. Drive slowly is drive carefully, following the rules, Dharma. Reach safely is reach that peace which passeth understanding, Shanti. What do I mean by that? Look at the life of Professor Kasturi. We all envy him, thinking how much nearness and dearness he had to Swami. But do we know the travails and tribulations that he went through? I have made separate videos on this. So many difficulties Professor Kasturi had. And yet, when the time of his passing came, he passed away with great peace and contentment and joy. That peace that passeth understanding comes from starting early and driving slowly. Same is the case of Sheshagiri Rao, the first ever priest of Swami's Mandir. He used to do Aarti and his end was not easy in the physical and mental sense. And yet it was the most beautiful passing and he passed away peacefully. Coming very close to my heart and my home, my own father. He was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal liver cancer and he was told he will go in 2 months. And now when I get emotional, dear brothers and sisters, it is not because of sorrow. It is because of immense gratitude to Swami, because I know the way my father passed on. He proved wrong all the doctor predictions. He stayed for 9 months, and even after 9 months, when they were saying that this is the last night, this is the last night, he disobeyed their predictions for 4 different nights, and finally he passed on the 3rd of December 2022. That day, the day of Bhagavad Gita Jayanti, it's the birthday of Bhagavad Gita. It is a Vaikuntha Ekadashi day. What? Dear brothers and sisters, when we give our life to Swami, right? Swami not only takes care of our welfare, He also takes care of our farewell. He will ensure that we reach safely. We reach that peace that passeth understanding. Oh, Swami, how blessed are we that we know you and that we know all of this. Satya, Dharma, Shanti. Start early, start now. Drive slowly, drive carefully, following the rules. Reach safely, reach that ultimate contentment and peace. Now that we have covered Satya, Dharma, and Shanti, where is Prema? That is right. That is what is the most important, right? It is the most important because, as Swami beautifully says, love in thought is Satya, love in thought is truth, love in action is Dharma, and love as understanding is Shanti. Satya, Dharma, and Shanti, where the foundation is Prema. And that Prema is everything. That is why Swami would say, help ever, hurt never, love all, serve all. Ultimately, it boils down to this much. That is Prema, that is love. All of this, when we do, if love is missing, it's all to no avail. So, this is my understanding of Journey with Sai, where we start early, where we drive slowly, and we reach safely. Dear Swami, may we know that you are with us always as our eternal traveling companion, as our friend. Both are important. Eternal means forever across lifetimes. Companion, he's a friend. The closest, if we look at the Navavida Bhakti Marga, the 9 steps to liberation, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Before Atmanivedanam, which is the ultimate merger where two becomes one, where there's no devotee and God, the penultimate stage is friendship. And that is why I say companion, the eternal companion. Grateful to you, Swami, that you are our eternal companion in this journey of life. May the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Offering my most loving and humble salutations at Swami's Divine Lotus feet, dear brothers and sisters, fellow Sai young adults, dearest children, loving Om Sai Ram. Wow, what inspirational talks we've just heard from Uncle Suresh and Brother Arvind, and I don't think I could follow up with anything more inspirational than that. And it's so funny how Swami works in different and mysterious ways that what I want to share with you ties ultimately to what they've just mentioned. And Brother Arvind beautifully summed it in the 5 human values, but also starting early and knowing that truth, knowing now how lucky and fortunate we are. And Uncle Suresh actually ended his talk on, knowing that we're part of this golden opportunity to know Swami, to serve Swami, to love Swami. And then how fortunate we are to be given this golden opportunity to be in his divine mission and to know him as an avatar and serve him and be in his, existence as well. And so when I think back on, staying on the path or on my journey, I think about my life and I can't imagine it any other way, and I can't imagine my life without Swami. And so I would like to emphasize today how lucky we are to know Swami and actually have him as our guide. And Brother Arvind beautifully mentioned it as our eternal companion, our best friend, and him guiding us on this path. And I think we should never take that for granted. One of our speakers just mentioned, how would the lives of others be not knowing Swami, not having the tools we have or the teachings, or even the experiences. And I think we should always give gratitude for that at the very start, and be grateful that we actually have Swami to guide us on this path. And so yesterday I covered connection, I covered some tools and techniques. I also covered courage, as well as, our connection with Swami and what he has to say, surrender, equanimity, etc. Today, I want to go back to faith, which I also covered yesterday, but I wanted to share a story. So I've shared my story of how my faith actually increased and developed and strengthened, and it continues to do so every day. But today, I want to share a story of Abraham Lincoln. And Swami actually mentions this in a few discourses, or he's shared the story before. But Abraham Lincoln was, of course, I think, familiar to all our US devotees, but he was the 16th president of the United States of America. And he actually had a very interesting, a unique story. And It started where his life was not the most favorable. He was very poor, didn't have much, and was not very fortunate in the opportunities he was given, in the resources he had. But he was a determined individual to make something of his life, to become successful. And it's a story of faith, yes, it's a story of courage, and it is also a story of self-confidence. And so, anyways, Abraham Lincoln, as mentioned, was very poor, and he used to wear very tattered clothing, and people used to ridicule him. They used to laugh at him for the clothes he used to wear. Yet his mom had full faith and belief in him and his abilities. And she was actually a dressmaker, if I recall correctly, and she would actually stitch his clothes for him so that he was able to have, clothes without any holes or torn. And he would actually study under the lamps in the street and the street lights for the light for studying. And that's how he made his way in life. And it was through his faith in God, faith in himself, the self-confidence, and his mom's faith and belief in him that he was able to become successful and achieve all his goals in life. And so Swami narrates the story very beautifully. And in the interest of time, I've cut down on all the details. But it just goes to show how faith, self-confidence, and even belief from your parents or those closest to you, and the importance of satsang really can take you far on this journey of life and actually allow you to reach your goal. And I want to quote Abraham Lincoln here. And he says, "My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. Be sure to put your feet in the right place and then stand firm." And so this beautifully sums up that courage, that faith in God, and that belief in himself. And to complement that, I would like to share a quote that Swami actually shares on faith. And he says, "Faith in yourself, faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. First of all, have faith in yourself. If you do not have faith in yourself, you cannot have faith in God. Therefore, one who denies God denies themselves. One who has faith in themselves will have faith in God." And so, brothers and sisters, I thought this was a really nice story to share on faith from Abraham Lincoln. The next story I want to share, and I mentioned this yesterday, was the ways that I connect to Swami. And one of them is writing letters to Swami. And I actually find that this is the best way I can connect with my best friend. It's sort of a love letter. It's a journal. It's some place where I can put all my thoughts, my feelings into it and share it with Swami. Although he's all-knowing, as we've established throughout this weekend. But there's just something about writing it down and offering it to him that really gives me that peace, that's peace of mind, and that connection with him. And so the one day I was actually at home again for holidays, and it was in the peak of COVID, and I needed to go back to Cape Town after the holiday to go back to work. And so I'd written in that letter that, "Swami, it is COVID. I am, worried about my safety. South Africa was going under lockdown at that point. And so I said, "Swami, please protect me, please protect my family, and ensure that I have safe travels." And so I wrote that in the letter, I folded it up, placed it at the shrine. The next morning, I was on my way to the airport before I would, go to the shrine, pray, and then I looked into the letter and it was blessed. Swami had materialized vibhuti. Of course, I was quite happy. My heart was settled and my mind was also stable. I knew, okay, Swami is materialized vibhuti. I'm going to be protected. So I took this letter, folded it up, put it into a silver pouch. And the silver pouch is about 20 centimeters long. And then I put that pouch into my big luggage that would go into the plane on the conveyor belt. And so I was again very rushed and got to the counter at the airport, and the lady had weighed my bag, and the domestic allowance at that time was around 20 kgs. I'm not too sure what it is in pounds, but it was 20 kilograms. And when she weighed my bag, she said, "Ma'am, your bag is 21 kgs. You'd have to pay for the 1 kilogram unless you want to take out something." So I said, "Okay, let me shuffle a little." So I took out a book from my big bag and a jacket or an item of clothing I can't actually recall. And I put the bag back onto the scale. And it was so strange, actually. The scale actually went up to 22 kgs. And she even looked confused and she said, "Ma'am, your bag is now weighing 22 kgs. Do you want to actually just double check, you know? And so I said, okay, fine. Very, very confused myself. And I'm like, what do I do in this time? Because it's everything that I need in these bags, and I can't really shuffle much. So I put back the book and the item of clothing, and I take out the silver pouch. For some reason, I don't know why, this was even really a ridiculous idea, but I took out that silver pouch and I closed it and I said, can I just check, you know? And so I took out the silver pouch, I put the bag back on the scale, and it was 19 point something, the bag. And I was like, this is so weird. I don't know the law of gravity or weights or, you know, that kind of thing, the physics behind it. But for some reason, it was 19 point something. And she said, ma'am, your bag is fine. Go ahead. And I put that silver pouch in my laptop bag. And then I went on my way through security onto the flight. I sat down at my seat on the flight, and I was still confused about this entire situation. And I think in hindsight, I always think of this happening in my life. And I was, why would Swami want me to just remove that pouch? You know, what was so valuable in that pouch? And of course, it was that letter with the vibhuti. And that's what I mentioned yesterday, the power of vibhuti, the power of protection, the power of healing. For me, and this is my interpretation of this situation, is that Swami wanted me to have that vibhuti on my person, to have that protective power, so that I was warded against, you know, any illness, if it was so, or any kind of danger. And so I hold very close to my heart that I have this personal connection with Swami. I always put him first. I have him as my best friend, but he's also my biggest protector. And the power of vibhuti, whenever I'm not well, I would, you know, drink some vibhuti water, or I'd place it on my forehead. We should never underestimate that power of vibhuti and how Swami is here to protect us. And in fact, in the vibhuti mantra, it talks about liberation. And over this weekend, we've been talking about the only certain thing being death. You know, the Bhaja Govindam says it. Swami said it in his discourse yesterday. But vibhuti can really grant us that liberation, that protection, and that love. Brother Arvind just mentioned love as well. So that was the second story that I wanted to share with you. My last sort of sharing reflection that I wanted to share with you is a culmination or a marriage of ideas that actually took place yesterday in the workshops. When we came back into the big room from the breakouts, we heard the adults sharing about the 4 Fs. And then I've just come out of the young adults workshop, and I want to share as well, you know, they mentioned a lot of great concepts, and particularly they mentioned the 6 enemies of man. And I know when we're on this journey, we spoke about obstacles, challenges, but, you know, sometimes it's always an individual journey. And our biggest, greatest obstacle, I don't know, I think Uncle Suresh also alluded to this, is your mind or your inner enemies, you know, those attributes, the vasanas that we experience in life. And so I want to start with the 4 Fs that the adults mentioned yesterday. Sister Seema mentioned it beautifully. And not to go into more theory of it, but I do want to share what Swami has to say about it, and then sort of a little of my reflection or interpretation of that. And Swami says, follow the master, face the devil, fight to the end, and finish the game. Your duty is to follow the 4 Fs, then you will win my love in full measure. Your conscience is your master. Follow your conscience. And there can be nothing more sacred than following the 4 injunctions. The 4 Fs are essential to achieving the goals of human life. Following the 4 Fs allows you to boldly face the difficulties in life. And Brother Arvind mentioned the conscience as well. And so I think that's so important to know. And Swami says that you will reach your destination only if you know your destination. And that's why Uncle Suresh's segment was so important, is to know your source, know who you are, know where you come from, so that you may return to that place. And that we are the very Atma, and so that we need to return to that Atma, or to that divinity, and to merge with God. And so I think of this, you know, following the follow the master, following the conscience. And you know, Swami gives the quote as well, and he says, our mind is like a mad monkey. The water is like a water, the body is a water bubble. And so do not follow the mind, do not follow the body, but follow the conscience. And so I think it's really important for us in our lives, whenever we're faced with a situation, that we take a step back and we really think of what is the true essence of the situation, what is it teaching us, and what is the right thing to do. Brother Arvind mentioned Dharma, the principle of that. And yesterday I mentioned my governing question is, will Swami be happy? And that's how I follow my Dharma, my truth. And so I think that's very important. Speaking of the mind, Brother Arvind mentioned Lord Rama. And I want to give you the example. This question always is in my mind of how would my life have been had I not stayed on the path, you know? And then in the Ramayana, even the author of the Ramayana, Valmiki, he was not a great person to begin with. And then he actually transformed. And so life is all about transformation. It's about the spiritual path. And so we all learn from our mistakes. We learn on the spiritual journey and we get better in time. And Brother Arvind mentioned Lord Rama, and we also know Ravana is there as well. And Lord Rama was good, and Ravana was probably great. He was actually a very learned scholar, very dedicated, had great devotion, a Lord Shiva devotee. But it was through the 6 enemies of man, that desire for power, that desire of ego, lust, greed, all of that, that he actually, it led to his detriment in life. And so we have choices in life. We can either be good or we can be great. But ultimately, we should do what is in line with Swami, or what is, do good, be good, according to Swami's teachings. And so I thought that was a nice example to share. Also in the Ramayana is Lord Hanuman. And I think I would love to share that story about when he received a reward for his actions. And both our speakers yesterday said, and I mentioned myself, is that we are instruments of Swami, and we should never seek a reward for anything that we do in life. And, you can liken ourselves to the flute, Muralidhara of Lord Krishna, where we need to be empty and hollow so that Swami's love can flow through us, and that we never seek the rewards of our actions. And Lord Hanuman was gifted this pearl necklace from Mother Sita, and he started to tear it apart because he was trying to look in the pearls for something, And Lord Sita was baffled, goddess or Mother Sita was very baffled with this and said, you have the monkey mind. You still have that monkey mind. Why are you just disregarding these pearls? They're so valuable. And he said that none of these pearls actually have the name of Lord Ram. None of it resonates, Lord Ram. And I will only be in the presence of Lord Ram or his name. And we knew that Lord Hanuman, every hair on his body resonated with the name of Lord Ram. And so, brothers and sisters, I think I just wanted to share that with you about the monkey mind, is that we should always silence our mind, silence our worries with the name of God on our lips. And there were many times in my life where I mentioned yesterday, but Gayatri has helped me through it. It's given me so much of clarity in any situation that I, faced. And if I was even conflicted, it would give me the answer. It would share or shine light on situations that I never thought that I would be able to overcome. And so I really wanted to share that power of Namasmarana and then the power of, writing letters and my connection with Swami. Lastly, to end, I would like to share a little something from my dear students. I know for Sai Young Adults, we always go to the books that are actually targeted to the young adults. And there's a lot of great golden nuggets in this book, and it's a compilation of Swami's discourses. But I do want to share what Swami has to say about this journey of life, or the goal of life. And I think it's a nice way to sum up what we've been discussing through this weekend. And it's volume 5. I don't know if you're able to see, okay. But he says, you should have a clear understanding of these 4 components. First, running away from bad company, getting into good company, doing meritorious deeds day and night, understanding what is real and what is not. Till you understand all these things clearly, your practice should go on. As long as you don't know all these 4 things, you will be caught in the cycle of birth and death. Thus, everything in this world depends on your company. And so, brothers and sisters, that's the note I want to end on. And I hope that this weekend has been fruitful for you as it has for me. And it has been incredibly inspiring. And as Brother Arvind mentioned, we pray to Swami to guide us on this path, to lead us to our goal safely, but also with his unconditional love, his wisdom, his guidance, as our divine mother and father, and our best friend, guru, guide, and guide. And so, Swami, dearest Swami, we love you, we thank you, and we pray to you for your guidance, your protection, and your love. Jai Sairam.